Hello everybody, welcome back to Legend of Mana. So, this is going to be a little off sequence. I was hoping to do each quest line separately, but then I realized I have to do this quest first in order to do some side content. So let's do this. I like that little light effect, that's great. I think we got this artifact way back in the day when we did the desert quest? So what's this on about? Huh, what's Pearl doing here? Oh, hello there. Again. Alright, let's go. So now, we are Pearl's knight in shining armor, because... well, she has no weapons. Pearl is actually a character that literally cannot attack. This will be elaborated on later in the episode. But for now, we're basically escorting Pearl to the top of the tower. It's a good thing we're so overpowered too, because wow, this would be tough if I was still a scrub. So I mentioned in a previous episode that this is the magic episode. Because of that, I have prepared new stuff. The staff is basically a weaker spear. I know I said I wasn't going to use the spear before, but I was wrong. Magic is crafted. Anybody can use magic whenever they want. It's just preferred to use it with the staff because the staff has a couple extra perks. Mainly because it comes with a boosted magic trait. But with magic, you have certain area of influences, you have certain ways to charge it. In order to get the most out of your magic, what you gotta do is you gotta charge the magic to fill up what used to be the ST meter, but whenever you cast the magic bar, whenever you cast magic, it becomes green. So if you fully charge magic, you'll get the most out of your spells. The problem is I didn't have any good resources. Last episode I got a gold Jin coin, and I thought, man, I was gonna get some good magic with this, this is great. The problem is I had no good materials, and I had very little money to spend with. So the magic I'm using today, for the lack of a better word, sucks. My strongest ability is that wind spell, and even then it doesn't do much of anything. Oh, hello Excaliburs. I too have an Excalibur. Nice to meet you. So these are the poltergeist swords. They are exactly like Excalibur and they just own the shit out of him. Poor guy. Now, these are considered poltergeists because, as I mentioned, they are the poltergeist swords. So, they give no experience and a lot of money. The entirety of the Tower of Lirez is mostly poltergeist enemies. So if you need money, come here. This is great. Now, I mentioned before that the staff is basically one of them. I mentioned before that the spear is the most powerful weapon in the game. The staff is in the same vein in that it has really good range and good moves, for the most part. When you use a staff or spear, your X spam is going to blow. Also, I got a rare material called the Orichalcum. It can be used for many things, but I don't want to bug you for looking at them, so whoops. Now, the tough part about the Tower of Lirez is that it's basically a maze. Somewhere between the 5th and 6th floor, there's going to be spots that are very confusing and oftentimes dead ends, and I'll address those in a minute. But for right now, you're, for the most part, trying to get to the top of the tower and navigating this clusterfuck of an area. Also, if you're wondering why I'm having such a tough time with these bats, the level scaling gets kinda nuts here. Like, even though these are typically weak enemies, no one here has the ability to do massive damage. And at this point I'm like, man, I kinda miss my nunchucks. Now, don't think the staff is too terrible, because right now I am rather ill-prepared. The staff is good for melee for the most part, but I don't have any magic to complement it, and I don't have any STs. Yes, the staff has special techniques, which we will cover in a minute. For now, though, I'm getting exploded by ducks. I think that's one move that I didn't show off when we fought the ducks in the desert. They could make a baby duck bomb. That's actually kind of morbid now that I think about it. Just kind of messing around trying to get a feel for the spear again. Okay, here we go. We have abilities. Typically what I like to do in situations like this is I like to have 2 special techniques and 2 magic. However, that will change later, because I'm still a broke hobo. Here's one of 2 important things. These are teleporter rooms. Use the first one you see, because I believe this takes you to where you need to go, even though you don't know it. Now, this is basically a pseudo-blind Let's Play because I have never used the staff in any of my playthroughs of Legend of Mana. And I gotta say, wow! Like, the ST before we just used before, it's kinda ho-hum, it's very basic. Most STs with the spear will either buff or deplete your magic power, which will either convert you to a pure caster or physical fighter. But man, some of the STs I used in this are great! We're gonna get a lot of special techniques today, and they are all fucking awesome. Like, check this shit out. That's fucking magic, man. That's great. You know what that is? That is a fuck off button. Sure, it decreases your magic, but it's powerful, and my magic sucks, so who cares? We also got a new ability. Now, much to my poor judgment, I don't swap out Halo just yet. But I will soon. Halo's not that great. Sure, it buffs your magic, but a lot of skills you get later on do. So, Halo's good starting out, but you're not going to be using it for a long time. Now here, this hole in the wall. When we continue on, like right here, you have a dead end. Not many people know what to do here because this is actually really deceptive. Most games don't do this. You can just fall out of the wall. And you actually need to do this, because this is the back end I was talking about. That leads down though, don't go that way. Our good friend the Chestnut is back too, and he has a lot more HP than we last saw him in the jungle. Blaze is a pretty funny technique, I like that. It's kind of funny to imagine a mage trying to do a sick flaming backflip, but he fucks up anyways. It's also a good spell because it does moderate damage and it gives you magic power. It's just somewhat hard to land because you have to space yourself to use a somersault. Poor Pearl! She's just panicking and stuck on me. Paint it black. This is an interesting technique. You're gonna be seeing a lot of menu management today, and I apologize, but really, I'm just flying blind with these techniques, and like, you probably don't hear it in my voice, but when I was actually playing this, I was like, wow, these techniques are amazing! I love these! And it'll especially show later on. Paint it black is an interesting technique. It's one of the techniques that you should get initially, but whoops. But yeah, it's one of the first of many techniques that decreases your magic attack, which becomes a problem. Gust, on the other hand, is that rinky-dink thing. I don't use Gust all that much. It's actually the only disappointing technique in the entire lineup. So here's a funny thing, I'm a grappling mage now. Why don't we see something like that? A luchador or a wrestler that also knows how to cast magic, that'd be awesome. The Wrestle Mage. That is who I am. Screw it. I may have 5 episodes recorded already, but for the next 5, I'm just gonna use grapple exclusively. I love that technique. Now here's an interesting thing that kinda confounds me from a gameplay standpoint. We are effectively in an escort mission. We have to make sure that Pearl gets to the top unharmed and able to, you know, figure out what's going on, why she's having these revelations. But there's a slight hang-up on the game's mechanics. Pearl could die, for sure, you know, like, we all have HP. And if you look at Pearl's skill layout, you'll notice that she has crouch double bound because crouch can restore HP. So here's the thing, Pearl can die. Like, every character could die. If your HP goes below 100, you die, you get a game over screen. Like, your character gets knocked out for a bit. But she can revive herself. Like, at the end of every fight, and just in the middle of a fight, you could revive yourself. So while this is an escort mission, I'm a little weirded out at why they added the auto-revive to each fight. It's somewhat strange, in my opinion. Kind of makes the game a little easier than it should be. Even though it's kind of hard to tell with how I'm playing. But yeah, Pearl for the most part is just a character that's along for the ride. I do like the fact that they, oh yeah, here's the new technique I got. That technique is great because it looks so cartoony, but holy god, it's powerful! And I get more techniques! Aftershock is great because, man, I think it took out 2 HP bars. The moment I landed that, I'm like, wow, I am keeping that. I think I use it again really soon, but man, what a great technique. It's so goofy yet so awesome. Here it is again for those that missed it. Dead. 2 whole HP bars. That thing destroys. The teleporters aren't exactly confounding. There are only 2, and both of them are in places you'll obviously know that you want to go to. You won't get mixed up by using these teleporters. Don't worry about it. Huh. A hole in the wall. Oh, hey, we're here. You alright, Pearl? Pearl, I can fly into the sky and become 3 times my own size. I'm not running away from any fight. I am a grapple mage. Let's do this. Huh. What a strangely familiar looking character. Uh-oh. Whoa, big. So this is the centaur. He's kind of an asshole. Here's the technique that I hate the most. Gotta gauge this shadow, because if you fuck up like I do, you lose half your health. Also, let's grapple a centaur! Aww. Unfortunately, you can't grapple bosses. Any boss in the game, they are just too heavy. You don't get damaged for trying to grapple them, you just look like a dummy. It's pretty funny, though. I sure do like the tweening in this game, because when you grapple a giant centaur, it just looks silly as shit. Even when I do the skill, I fuck up. Here's his other technique. It's a machine gun jab with his axe. It's not hard to dodge. You could just... he winds it up for 3 years, so you can't possibly get hit by it. Oh yeah, here's my new technique. Spikes! I suppose grapple is good for interrupting some attacks. But on the boss, for the most part, you're not going to be using grapple. So I can't believe Excalibur's fucking dead. There goes Pearl, too. I'm not doing great on HP. I think I have to get serious for this. Shit. I think at this point I was like, ah, crap, he's doing that again. Good thing a distraction revived itself. Well, let's finish this with a blast. Ah, you dick. I was pretty mad that my awesome finale was interrupted by a invincibility frame, so I just kind of destroy him. That's Centaur. Remember that boss. We'll be seeing him again quite frequently. I was pretty scared too when a giant centaur just kind of plummets from the sky. Oh, hi there. Where have you been, Elazul? Alright, buddy. I'll help your friend. out of the goodness of my heart, like I've been doing before. You don't need to put a death threat to me. She is kind of adorable, though. So now we have to escort Pearl the entire way back down. That's 11 floors of traveling, but it's not all bad. Because there's this. Most people miss this, actually. Now, Elazil said he's gonna take care of the flak on the way down, but he doesn't. We have to fight every monster on the way back. So let's cut to the chase. Now, this music sounds ominous, but we already defeat the boss of the level, right? This is just setting up for an ending cutscene, right? Lady, I have a beat stick. Think you could stop me? Okay, maybe you could stop me. So yeah, this chapter has 2 big boss fights. This is the Jewel Beast. This is actually a hard fight because he is aggressive. He only has 3 techniques, one of them that you don't see in this fight. But he has a charge tackle right there. He could bite you, he could stab you, which is actually 4 techniques, but he also has the laser. He doesn't use the laser this fight because if you have counterattack or counterstrike, this boss is actually a joke. He attacks so often that if you just kind of spam counterstrike, you will trounce this fool. Oh, I didn't get to magic him to death. All my cool stuff today has been failed. I'm just so disappointed. At least I get to vacuum him up. That's the Jewel Beast. Remember him too. We'll be seeing him a lot again. Oh my goodness. I just sit there like, oh man. Yeah, I do gotta say, I'm pretty good at killing giant monsters. I wish I had a grappling hook. Yeah, here's the thing. It's not really stated early on, but the Jumi have 2 types of classes. They have the Guardians and they have the Knights. Pearl is a Guardian. She does Guardian stuff, but she is defenseless without Elazil, who is a Knight. However, they are not technically a pair. So, effectively, Sakuya could get abandoned if Elazil gets kinda hot-blooded. Stay safe, Pearl. Hey, little cactus. I became a magic knight today. See you folks next time.